Chrissy Teigen just shared one of her most vulnerable posts ever, and if you or anyone you know has struggled with addiction or breaking bad habits, this story is going to resonate deeply. Let me walk you through what she revealed. On January 27th, Chrissy posted on Instagram that she's 52 days sober, which might seem straightforward until you understand this is actually her second time getting sober. Back in December 2020, Chrissy publicly announced she was quitting alcohol, saying she was done making an ass of myself in front of people and tired of day drinking and feeling like shit by 6 p.m. She was incredibly open about her struggles, explaining that alcohol abuse runs in her family and she needed to make a change for herself and her 4 kids with husband John Legend. She stayed sober for a little over a year, which is a massive accomplishment. But then in May 2025, she shared that she had relapsed, saying she let the fucking beast that is alcohol back into her life and felt terrible for letting people down. At the time she admitted, "I don't know what I'm doing. I 100% know I like me better sober." So here's what happened. After being sober, Chrissy decided to drink again but told herself it would be different this time. She'd be mindful about it. She wanted to have a glass of wine on date nights with John, toast at birthdays, enjoy the life she's worked so hard for. And honestly, that sounds reasonable on the surface, right? But Chrissy realized that mentality was actually her first problem. She was tying drinking to rewards, to celebrations, to this idea that she deserved it or earned it. And psychologically, that's a dangerous pattern for anyone who's struggled with alcohol. Once she started drinking again, it wasn't mindful at all. She describes how it escalated. Quiet moments at home were for wine. The time went from 6 p.m. to 5 to 4 to hell it's lunch, why not? When it got to 11 a.m. I was like OF*CK, here we go again. Now Chrissy is very clear this wasn't the kind of drinking where you're slurring words or falling downstairs. She's a mom of 4 young kids, Luna who's 9, Miles who's 7, Esty who's 3, and baby Ren who's 1. She says, "It was just quiet and consistent, and God, I felt like shit." She couldn't pick up her keys for a last-minute grocery run because she'd been drinking. But she also says it wasn't messy enough yet to stop, which is such an honest and painful admission about how addiction works. Her wake-up call came the same week she recorded a podcast episode with Carl Radke from Summer House. Carl has been incredibly open about his own sobriety journey after losing his brother Curtis to addiction and mental health struggles. On Chrissy's Self-Conscious podcast, they talked about addiction, identity, and recovery, and Chrissy says that conversation literally changed her life. That same week, she was offered a role on Netflix's Star Search reboot, which premiered earlier this month. And she knew immediately, if she got this amazing opportunity, there was absolutely no fucking way she would do it with alcohol in her dressing room. So she quit again. But here's what makes this story so powerful and different. Chrissy talks about the difference between her first time getting sober and now. The first time was exciting with a capital E. She had momentum, people were supportive, it felt like this big positive change, and that energy kept her going. But the second time, it's different. She says maybe people around her have lost faith, or maybe she's lost some faith in herself, or both. She compares it to getting back with an ex-boyfriend after you've talked so much shit about them to your friends. Eventually everyone just stops caring because who knows what's going to happen next. That lack of excitement, that feeling of here we go again, is something so many people experience with addiction or any struggle really. The first attempt feels heroic, the second attempt feels embarrassing, shameful, like you failed. But Chrissy is being incredibly brave by talking about this publicly because relapse is part of recovery for so many people, and the shame around it stops people from trying again. She ends her post saying she's 52 days sober with no desire to turn back, and without it I can still be funny, still be stupid, still be wildly nervous, anxious as a motherfucker, and I can get through it all without it. So what can we take from this? I think Chrissy's honesty about the second attempt being harder, less exciting, more uncertain, that's the real story. Recovery isn't linear, and admitting you need to start over takes more courage than starting the first time. Whether it's alcohol, bad relationships, unhealthy habits, whatever, the shame of failing can keep us stuck. But Chrissy's showing that trying again, even when it's not glamorous, is what matters. Drop your thoughts or support for Chrissy in the comments. and subscribe for more celebrity news with depth and heart. Thanks for watching.